piss around kicking off, and we've got lots of players in apartments here for the CT side, 3 in fact, and this might be a little bit shocking, a little bit surprising here for the Ts, who have actually... Oh no! They've made their way past Arch, but the bomb got left behind. This is a huge disaster now for Conquest, as mainline looks to be getting a great advantage point from the balcony still, as we get a recovery attempt from Conquest, but it's just Shazam who's left on the Conquest side. So Enemy GG looking very, very good here in this one, although the bomb will be claimed by Shazam. We can't expect too much from him with a minute, although with a minute to go he does have at least some time to play around, but he's just going to go straight for the plants.
All the CTs coming the same way, may give him the opportunity to get some 1 versus 1. Looking for the trades, he's going to get shot in the back of the head. There is a phrase to be had there, but it's not with me at the moment. Something about finishing a 3, I don't know. You know, he was obviously expecting the split with 3 CTs on the board, but they all chose to come the same way, which would have taken him by surprise there. So thought he had a few extra seconds to find the trade fragger, but there was no trade fragger to be had.
I hate those moments, James, where it's like, I have something for this, but when you said obviously, it's because you cannot remember. But
thank you for pointing that out.
It's going to be the VT50s and the Deagle. Not much else, of course, with the bomb down. So I mean, at least that is there. That's always the saving grace, is being able to get the AKs into the 3rd round.
Yeah, the bomb plant is of course very important for the Ts who want to keep the economical pressure up on the counter terrors sooner rather than later. This is a map where the smoke grenades are more valuable than you could say they are on other maps, so the CTs will definitely want to keep the economy intact and minimize the rounds won by the Conquest side.
I'm going to be curious to see whether or not Relics and Kusta, depending, obviously, if they win the round, if they're going to upgrade their weapons, because surely when they figure out that this is a clean eco coming out from Conquest, that there's going to be a 3rd round buy, and if we're going to see them try to sneak away with one.
Well, Conquest trying to stream into the B-bomb site, and it's been a complete failure for the time being. No kills yet. MP9 now coming in to get some frags. It will be a solid hold there by Uber and Relics. So Conquest going to be on 3,900 plus, going to go straight for the AKs, which means many people will just be able to afford the 1 flashbang, such as Stanislaw and Dats. There's only 1 smoke here for Conquest, so we may see them with a fast play.
Oh dear, the MP9s.
I can understand it from Kusta's point of view because he didn't get a single frag. Relics, on the other hand, had plenty of money to spare to actually pick up a Colt in that situation. I can understand that Kusta wants some nades
I've never seen
deck
an
and full
MP9
amount.
before.
And it's not just like an MP9, but it's the situation where if it was like an UMP instead, if it was like a different SMG, that would be much more realistic. But the MP9, knowing that the enemy team got the bomb plant on the 1st round, even though losing it, you're expecting the AKs on round 3. So you should be trying to get that FAMAS out. You should be trying to get at least an UMP out, because it's going to be much better against the armor, much better when it comes to getting the damage in. The MP9 is going to be a really big issue here for enemy GG.
The UMP is also extremely cheap.
The same price as the MP9.
So if you're looking to save money on your anti-eco, then the UMP is a great way to go.
Well, Conquest with minimal utility, slowly creeping towards B, and Relics with 40 seconds on the clock here is going towards A, leaving B with 1 player, which is the opposite of what you commonly see CTs doing with this amount of time on the clock and no engagement yet from Conquest. But he's made it back to the B bomb site in time, and Nas is on 4 HP.
Yeah, he took a lot of damage in quad towards A.
Well, the push is coming in now. Will these MP9s be enough? There's just some fishing going on, and Relics got himself 1 frag, running out of bullets before the other frag comes in. Bomb site has almost been lost. Kusa still holding things down with 2 frags for the MP9, leaving Naf alone with 4 HP, and he will be finished off by mainline. So the hold has worked out for enemy. Going to be going into the next round with 3 rifles as well. So seems the MP9 gamble paid off.
Yeah, it did, and we could see actually Kusta banging up an AWP if he drops the AK for Relics here. He's actually going to go for an MP7, so he's getting the most expensive SMGs, I guess, out of the normal ones that you would do, that you get to just punch up that economy. So that's a bit weird, especially knowing that this is going to have to be a clean eco coming out from Conquest, seeing how they didn't get a bomb plant. Yeah, not really sure what that's about.
Yeah, so it's pretty amazing that they managed to do so well last round. That entry into the B bomb site wasn't nearly good enough from Conquest. So enemy GG taking a massive gamble with the MP9s, but it paid off pretty hugely And this should be a pretty quick affair. Got the T's readying for a push on the A site, but without any grenades to cover them as they plant. The hope for the plant is very, very low. Hope for any kills is also very, very low.
Relics will be the potentially the one kill that Conquest get. However, they have picked up an AK, so Shazam can be quick enough on the trigger. Bearing in mind he has no armor, which means he's going to be facing aim punch. Then he could get some work in. So one play going down for the CTs means that Kusta could have upgraded that rifle and thrown it over, but he will be eliminated as well. Enemy won't be too concerned with the 2 frags that were found by Conquest now. And let's see, Relics is going to drop the AWP for Kusta, just managing their economy a bit. So Kusta can buy nades, dropping the M4 for Relics.
Yeah, we've seen what Enemy can do once Kusta gets his hands on that op, and that I'm assuming Conquest are very well aware of it, especially with not having an op on Shazam. But they do have a lot of nades they can work with, so I'm assuming they're going to try to avoid mid as much as possible, just to not to get picked off by Kusta before they set up for an execution.
I think we saw it set up on short earlier from Enemy on a previous map, but I have to come back to that in a second. 2-man, oh, not a 2-man spray down. Mainline going down there, Lucky getting 2 frags, so trying to finish off Naf, but he won't be able to do it. All of a sudden, there are 2 players left for both sides. Got a rotation coming in from a CT spawn from the B players for Enemy.
Yeah, they had a really great setup to deal with the push from Conquest, but somehow Conquest still came out with a huge amount of frags. Now it is up to the B players indeed. We've got Uber and Relics on the scene. And there is a flash over for Relics to get in and Uber, oh sorry, for Uber to get in. But there is Naf from Graveyard. He's going to take down Uber pretty easily. Now his position is known, but it's such a hard spot to deal with up close. And we can see Naf easily dealing both frags. And now it's going to be a 1-4. And Conquest just need to stabilize their economy. Enemy GG with another buy.
So Enemy had a really, really good setup for that execution coming in from Conquest right there. The problem was simply the fact that Daps was able to get the better of Kusta out from AAPS, and that more or less opened up the entire side. So even if we would have seen Lucky manage to take out Nap as well, he would have been instantly traded by Daps, who was already out towards the site.
Every time I've seen the double short play from the CTs, it hasn't worked out on this map in this tournament so far. So we're going to have trades, and the B-bomb site will be quickly lost by Enemy. It's going to cause a rotation from at least one of their players, potentially 2. Lucky seeming to be in 2 mines, currently holding down the arch area. Mainline disappearing, Enemy just being disintegrated at the moment.
Really unfortunate as well, because the nade play from Enemy GG aggressively on Banana was really effective to begin with, but then they just got shut down by an aggressive push that was queued afterwards, which shouldn't really have happened as they had the bodies there. But we got Lucky in a position to try to hold things down, but the nades are really good, or were really good on Conquest. They used them very well. Now that's given them the bomb site, and there's no way Kusta is going to want to go for this. He's just going to stay chilling by the B bomb site and just keep his AWP in his hands for now.
I still like the move Enemy tried to do there. In that situation you have, I think it was, might have been Mainline who was pushing up through apartments where he got caught up by Stanislav, but when you lose both of the players on B and you have to rotate over Kusta, you need to get some sort of information as to what's going on and where Conquest are going. It's just unfortunate that he gets the absolute worst angle he can possibly get versus Stanislav off an apps there. Otherwise, he could have potentially gotten into a situation where he can pick off the rotation with a bomb over towards that A bomb side, and that's going to do wonders for you. So, nice idea, unfortunate timing, but Conquest are going to obviously take full advantage of that.
Kusta with a less than ideal spawn to go for some supreme aggression. Kind of in the middle of things. If you get the best A spawn, you can go for the pick down mid or run through apps into a balcony second mid peak. So we'll see where Kusta is headed. He is going to his normal arch position for now. Mainline pushing through apps. It seems Kusta might be joining him actually. So looks like Mainline will be the first line of defense. Like this is a triple apps push, but Lucky's been spotted. Think down to 3 HP through the corner of the window. So not working out for Enemy at the moment. And it seems Kusta will now be turned into the baits. But will he be engaged? It's not often you see the T's pushing apps on an eco round for the CTs. A nice crouch there, perfect timing, but in the Mainline again is in there with supporting the rifle for the save. They should be able to pick up that gun. So maybe a foolish venture by Conquest.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. Completely alone with not really that much to gain. Going in apps all by yourself with no possibility for your teammates to trade with you is just not great for your anti-eco. But here we go.
Yeah, they're deciding to just go all in, shove all the chips into the B bomb site as a response. Now, can they make it happen? Relix goes down to the back of the site. It was good for him to try to survive for as long as possible, but he didn't get a single kill, which will be a problematic. Kusta over the top, finds a sneaky frag, and then he backs away to safety, whilst his teammates will be soon to reinforce. We do have a main line coming up from Banana, but he's about to be eliminated, I believe. He's up against it, against Shazam, and then Shazam will get the frag, but these teams are getting very low, and Kusta in for a second bite of that cherry, and there it is. 2 frags. Can he get the third? Yes, he will. Wrapping the bullet around the pillar, and the defuse will come in. And Kusta, yesterday, he made the difference on Inferno for Enemy GG. He was the reason why they won that map and against Splice. Can he do the same magic this time against Conquest?
Well, off to a good start at least. It's a really important run for Enemy as well. Basically salvaging a broken buy from their side. As you can see, Kusta being the only one with any real firepower, but he's making the most out of it. So another round on the board for Enemy, and that means, well, because Conquest got the bomb down, they're going to be able to get a buy, but it's not going to be the optimal buy they were looking for. They do have a lot of nades to work with though, so that's nice.
Well, potentially a lesson learned from Conquest, and it'll be a difficult one to learn as they'll be limited to the 3 rifles. So what is decision making? How do they keep on top of things here in such a situation? Shazam going for the crouch peek there, potentially through a smoke, but he will not find anyone to engage. So things may be a little bit harder than Conquest would like, as Enemy are not giving them the frags at present, but there's still more than a minute on the clock here for the T's to get something working for them. Well, one of the questions is, where is Kusta? He could be in Arch itself, he could be Library, he could be holding the position he's currently holding. He has, for the time being, been smoked off. Moving forward towards CT, it seems. Looks like the T's are going for a 5-man wrap, actually 4-man. Daps is lurking at the moment, looking for mainline. Mainline's been found, mainline found a frag.
Yeah, actually now the T's are in a weird position because they sort of stuck without positioning onto the bomb site. Now they're going to try to re-enter into A, but with players in the pit and without nades to deal with them or block them off, it's going to be quite hard, and you can see an instant frag coming out from Lucky. Mainline in a good position as well. Now they've been thinned out to just Naf against 3 players. Again, Mainline, if he just even just delays at this point, then that's going to be hard for Naf, but Mainline's dying maybe a little bit too quickly. We'll give a slight opportunity for Naf. You can see he's looking for a quick frag there, but now he's going to settle and just get a quick fake before, I imagine, planting the bomb. It's a little bit hopeless, and he's got no time, so bomb plant coming. No, he's going to fake it again. This is very, very risky stuff, and he's going to go down. Bomb plant could have been guaranteed there, and we'll see the money of Conquest to see the impact. And they could really have used that money.
Absolutely, and there we see a great drag shot from Kusta, but a very questionable decision from Conquest. I'm not really sure what the goal was there of sending, I think it was Daps who was the guy lurking behind towards quad, and then having the rest of the team move towards CT spawn. If you can get the pick on Kusta, then that's great for you. You know there's 2 people isolated on the A bomb site. You already have Daps in position, so why not just wrap around the entire bomb site instead of start running into spawn?
Well, we've got a defense of Banana from the CTs. Daps is going to be the first victim. It will be the first of many, though, forcing their way through the smoke straight into a P90 and a 5-7 will be the Conquest side. Lots of money made by Relics. A hell of a lot of money made by Relics, but there we go. 5-round lead for Enemy, so maybe not the start that Conquest were expecting. They are on a less favored side, however. The carnage is glorious. All the bullets. All of them.
Yeah, this it's going to be really sticking to the P92 and Mainline sticking to the MP7, which is quite interesting considering that they are against full AKs. So this could be a good opportunity for Conquest to win some of these battles. Now we have aggressive play, the deep banana smoke, followed by some deep incendiaries from Enemy GG to remove some options and force the Conquest players to go up middle. And there is still actually only 2 players on pits. Enemy are very late to rotate a player back to A after forcing the move from Conquest up to A.
Yeah, maybe trying to read that Conquest would try and force their way through Banana, expecting 1 person there, but putting 3. They've lost Arch, and the wrap is coming in. The bomb site's been completely taken by Conquest, so the gamble from Enemy has not paid off whatsoever. Kusta going to take down Stanislaw, but the retake is on with the man disadvantage. Kusta with only 8 HP after that battle, and it seems they will make their exit, all the CT side.
Yeah, this is the best you can hope for in this situation. Just save your weapons. I guess Relics, in his case, well, he's going to pick up an AK, so now it's worthwhile saving. Oh, well. A bit of a weird, yeah, again, weird from Enemy right there. They opt to go with 3 people in Banana to get Banana control, and they do, but instead of using that control for something, they stick with 3 people in Banana. If you're going to stick with 3 people in Banana, at least push through. and see if you can basically sandwich the Conquest team before they even get to a site or while they're pushing towards A. And if not, if you're just going to play passively after getting the position, you have to rotate someone behind or someone back towards A pretty much immediately. Otherwise, you're going to get completely outmanned, like we saw them get right now.
Yeah, there seems to be no reason to keep more than 2 players there. That is gross misplay, I think. But either way, we have Conquest picking up a round, and Famous on Lucky. The firepower on the rest of the team is quite good though, and Conquest going with a bit of a default in their round, just taking banana with 2 players. Slowly making their way up second middle and throwing grenades into apartments. However, they aren't making a move into apartments just yet, which does make me feel as though they have already made a call to go to B, regardless, right at the start of the round.
Still 2 Molotovs as well, so they can put some good fire onto this bomb site.
Counter flashes and the CTs are going to push. There are many people to find. Can they even change the situation? Relics with too much to do as the entire team is facing him in banana, so Enemy will lose the B bomb site. There are still 2 smokes on the T side, excuse me, with that smoke in that position. So this round should basically be over. Kusta looking for some info, and Shazam will be the one to fall. But again, the re-smokes coming in. They've got 3 Molotovs as well. So they've just got too much utility for the CTs to push. Surely CTs they will continue to try, and Rush will have to defuse the flames that he's standing on. Stanislaw with a nice cross. The bomb continues to tick. He's got Molotov onto the bomb now as Neflag gets taken down. Stanislaw winning the spray down on the site. Now we're down to a 1 versus 1. Lucky looking for the bomb. The flames are just leaving now. He definitely doesn't have time. He does have time though to run into the bullets of Stanislaw. You can't save the op. He's going to go down as well. Everyone's dead.
That really felt like they overcommitted there. Like, it's an information play, but the 2 players committed themselves heavily. Like, 1 is okay, but how do you
Yeah,
do you interpret it the same way?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I guess the saving grace for Enemy right now is the fact that they made everybody blow up with the bomb, so you can see Enemy or Conquest's economy is not that great, but neither is Enemy's.
Kusta's been picked immediately in mid by Shazam, leaving main line on the AWP. There's no immediate response from Conquest. They're going to be holding their lines at the moment and continue to take their initial map control. You can see they weren't anywhere near apps when that frag came in, so they're just going to make sure there's no aggressive response from Enemy. And indeed, Relics is positioning himself for a flash to come in, although they have got the smoke onto car. Indeed, the flash does come in on Banana, so he will pick the corner. And see nobody there on this occasion. This time his teammate was a bit more passive, just in case. 4 smokes onto the Conquest side, 5 excuse me, so they have a world of opportunity available to them, including fakes, denial of information.
And it seems like Conquest are just taking this really passively because they know that Enemy's economy is weak. So sure, they could have gotten an op out on Kusta, but it's definitely a forced buy. So not everyone on their team is going to be equally decked out. So I like this from Conquest, just taking their time and using their nades.
And they make their way in, the entry. How illustrious will it be? We do have a quick frag there from mainline, but he's not going to get much more than that. And Naf with a quick shotgun work. Gone all farmer mode. All the trespassers are gone. Now Uber is just left to chill. So it looks like Enemy are losing the grip of this round as well as potentially the momentum in this first half. Conquest have a real opportunity now to bring things back.
Oh, they absolutely do, and with that force buy, Enemy are forced to clean eco now. So we're most likely looking at 6 to 7. Conquest have been throughout the tournament very good at defending against eco rounds, which normally shouldn't be an issue, but we know how pistols work in CSGO and how scary they can be. So good job on them on their end up till this point, and I'm assuming they're just going to take it slow once again. There's no reason why not to.
So we've got a 3-2 split from the CTs between B and A respectively, with a double peek towards Arch. So we'll see how long this formation holds for Enemy. Conquest have lots of time on the clock to use and abuse. They've used some initial Molotovs to get initial presence at the top of Banana. There's 1 Molotov left onto Rush. If they choose to go towards the bomb site, he can throw it onto first oranges, second oranges, new box, or dark spots as he so pleases. Also use it for the close corner to the right as you enter the choke point of B, which is often a handy place for people to abuse 5-7s, etc.
So it's the slow but inevitable push.
I'm curious to see whether or not Rush is going to use that Molotov before they go in on the site. I really hope he does.
Here we go. Nade's coming in. It's a bit blind. I don't know if there's a stack there. Indeed, there's 3 players here. Looks like Uber doesn't get much there, which is unfortunate. There's 1 frag. Opportunity for a second, but it is a clean bomb site now. Pretty much. Once Melon is dead, he's dead in the pool.
Rush survives with his Molotov intact.
Yeah. That's an easy way to just make your takes on onto the site so much easier. So I don't see any reason why he would hold on to it. Like, sure, it's nice for a retake, but are you really that afraid of the retake once you have the site with guns against an eco? Instead of just getting surprised by someone hiding behind a corner, you might as well use it to your advantage.
Yeah, it was a successful push, but that doesn't mean it was okay to not use the Molotov. There was a player in First Oranges who, again, in that situation, can easily get yourself, well, maybe not easily, but you can get yourself all too often to 3 frags.
And again, Enemy opting to do this quad boost. This is the same setup we saw them do when Conquest did the sudden push up into mid through their own flashes, and basically it came down to Kusta missing the shot onto Daps out of apps.
So you can see Lucky now facing the wall as they did the first time they used this in the previous match, where I think he turned around just at the wrong time, but let's forget that for a second. Daps has got an entry kill over towards Banana. Relics trying to hold things out from CT now, and Rush was heavily tagged there, but manages to escape with 4 HP. That extra man will be a problem for Enemy going forward.
Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting because time is starting to run low too for Conquest to make the move. I think Rush got quite unlucky there because I think it was kind of a weird drag and just 1 bullet that strayed and connected with his head to dink him, but Lucky is going to remove Naf. Now this is almost effectively just 2 players, it feels like, for Conquest versus 4, considering how tagged up Rush is. No nades now after these have been expended by the Ts. They're going to use it to try to get into the site, but Relics is putting down the stop sign. No Ts allowed. And that's going to be that. Another round here for Enemy. They are having a fairly decent half on the CT side.
Yeah, I think actually like both teams would be perfectly okay with either an 8-7 or 9-6 score. Still something that both sides can work with going into the second half. So it's not the greatest thing on earth. It's not horrible either.
Okay, so last round of the first half. Naf going to be on the auto shotty for the second time in this game.
How much money does Naf have left? I really hope he's completely broke.
Well, it is more expensive than a Glil, but not everyone is comfortable with the recoil pattern.
Well, Kusta's going to find that opening onto Daps, so that's going to relieve some pressure on Enemy's end, and that's really nice for them because Conquest have normally up till this point been a team that have played pretty slowly and just waited to set up for slow executions. That's going to be tougher to do with 1 less man.
So Enemy with 4 men on the A site. This could be the trap that finishes Conquest in the last round.
Now here we go. The push is about to arrive, and it looks like it's very expected here by Enemy. They have more or less 4 players towards the safe bomb site, but all of the focus from Conquest is on the short and pit area. 2 quick entries, and that's going to be that. The CT defense has all but disintegrated upon the entry of Conquest. And so that was a little bit flat, that defense.
Kusta got wrecked just standing in the middle of short.
Yeah.
It almost felt like there was a few spots there where Enemy could have found a good timing for an information play with a pop flash around the quad or something similar. But it is going to be a very, very good rounds in the end for Conquest. They will finish this half 7-8.
I'm trying to figure out how... That was almost a 3-man breakdown. That would have been top of Reddit immediately. I was trying to figure out how Kusta ended up in the middle of short at that point in the first place, because it seemed he was crossing from one place to another, but I'm not even sure how he got there to begin with. Because they had a player on apps, they had a player on the Ninja Plant spot, I think a player on Pit as well, perhaps, or towards Arch. I don't know how he ended up.
In the middle of nowhere?
Yeah.
That was definitely weird. I think he must have spotted some nades coming up from Conquest and then figured he had the time to back off. Something to that effect, but I guess we would have needed to see his point of view to actually know what was going on. But again, I definitely would have liked to see Enemy have a bit of a more passive or more defensive setup actually in that situation, because they were clearly aware of the fact that Conquest wanted to push towards the A bomb site. They'd spotted NAF up in apps. They'd spotted people in mid. They've already gotten one pick. So you don't really need to play that aggressively and to still have an advantage going in. If you play someone from pit, or maybe two even, you're pretty safe from anyone coming out from apps, especially when you know that NAF has picked up an auto shoddy, so it's not going to really do any damage to you if you stand behind the light pole. So I think it's too aggressive from enemy's side, and I think that cost them the round eventually.
So do we think enemy have enough rounds on the first half to have a fighting chance in a second? Because obviously we're expecting a 2-0 from Conquest, but it seems they've put up a fair score.
Yeah, I would definitely think they have enough to work with, but I think that goes for both sides as well. This is one of those scores where both teams can be pretty okay with what went on in the first half, and now the pistol is going to be really important to figure out who's going to get off to a good start, because I think we might just see a 5-0 start for whoever picks up the pistol, because we see so many weird buys from time to time. Some teams are better than others, but it's like we say all the time, whenever we see that force buy in the second round, after you lose the pistol, you harm yourself so much going into that first buy, and you oftentimes lose it right after.
And there's a lot of adjustments that could have been made there for enemy to actually maybe even get up to 10 or 11 rounds as well. I think there's like 3 different situations where I felt like they made a weird call. Like we had the spot where it's like a misplay from a tactical perspective, where we had all of Conquest moving up banana, going for the play, and we saw the double peak almost, which looked like weird and panicky. It's like, because you're saying on one hand we want to go for the information play because you don't know what's going on. They were playing very passively towards A, which is quite cool. And so you get the pop flash over from a teammate who's in a safe spot, so that if there is trouble, he can smoke down, or allow his teammate to get some frags. That's cool. And if the teammate dies, well, you got the smoke down at least, and they can't push immediately. So that's cool. You've got the information, maybe a kill. But what they did was they risked everything, because if you lose those 2 players immediately, then the round is basically over. Yeah. And then there was the spot as well down when they went for a banana push and left 3 players there for a very long time. And that is. If that's a read, I think that's going a bit too far, because again, the whole idea of that is to force the T's to just basically push up into middle, because that should be fairly safe, because usually if you're doing that kind of play, there will be 3 players down banana, which means middle is easier to take, generally speaking, in the early stages. So it's a natural reaction from the T's, and they just win the round because there's not enough players covering the A site. There's one more spot as well, but yeah, there was a lot of little adjustments. I feel like enemy could have had a much bigger score.
Yeah, I think actually one of the biggest or gravest mistakes is the first example you mentioned, which is the double pick, which wasn't even really a double pick. It was more the pop flash out for your teammate, which is a great information play, which I would absolutely encourage them to do more of. But the fact that the guy who actually threw the pop flash kind of half-heartedly goes after his team and be like, oh wait, yeah, I can totally help out in this situation.
Right.
But at that point, the flash just goes out. There's 4 people from Conquest there, instead of just doing the safe thing, which would have been throw down the smoke, wait for a rotation, just hold them back for as long as possible.
Well, enemy are going to be on the T-pistol now. Shazam with a very aggressive peek into second mid. He's going to get away with it. Not making any connections though. Enemy with 4 flashes and 2 smoke grenades. So you have to wonder what the plan is there. And I think that was a failed HE towards short, but it wouldn't have connected with anybody anyway.
It's going to be enemy busting through the boilerless boiler room, and we have them moving towards Arch side as a team, whilst they're going with the bomb up B, banana, sorry, towards B. So they want to go for that B split, and the smoke is down to cover them through Arch. This is going to be quite interesting, actually. If Conquest can hold on the B bomb side, that is going to be very important. But I like how the players on banana are waiting for the teammates to get through CT spawn. We'll see. That could be money. Yes, there you go. Main line's down. Out for the count. And here comes the rotation. So
they've lost the bomb. The bomb's gone down on the banana.
It's just going so slow for some reason from enemy GG. It should be much faster on the push. Now they're suffering the consequences. Trying to save this one with just pure aim. Is it going to work out? He can't hold on to the bomb. And now there's a real chance here for enemy. The
rotation's going to go with the bomb towards A though, because Stanislaw was stuck on the site. What a crazy run. What was Kusa doing there for so long?
Exactly, so delayed.
That was really weird, because he even didn't follow the second guy in banana in with the split. He was just like, I'm just going to chill out here for a while. Enjoy the scenery. And those kind of mistakes can easily cost you the round. It's a miracle that enemy actually end up winning it, because normally they would not have a shot in hell to actually win that round.
This is not something you see every day. A massive eco here on the CT side of Inferno from Conquest. A flash and a smoke from Stanislaw. I cannot wait for this flash to come in. I really want to see what the CTs can do in the situation, but are they going to wait too long? Uber's around the corner. Flash here, goes a flash. Going to be a trade from Rush, and there's another player facing in Relics. Koos has made it onto the A bomb site. That bomb needs to rotate, but they've left it bottom mid, being collected now, and they will try and hold things off over towards Banana. Only losing one player so far. They've still got the triple Mac 10 in play, but Daps has stolen the Galil. Probably go to save that, and the rest of his team will go and cause more shenanigans.
Yeah, I was really scared that Relics would try to keep fighting there, but it's a good thing that he backed away. The numbers are more important for the T side, and they will get the bomb planted. Does it like Conquest are quite content to save the Galil and one other player? Which is quite a good move, I would say, considering they went for the full eco, and they did get one frag at least. You know, this is a decent return into the next round. You know, also they are choosing to, by having this round, they're saying, we want to bolster our economy. We don't actually care how much money the T's get, but we want to guarantee that we keep as much money as possible for our first buy round, which I respect that approach if they are confident in their buy rounds.
And with the actual tendency we've seen from Enemy to actually hold on to those SMGs, if Conquest can have a really solid fourth round buy, then they could absolutely demolish Enemy. So I like the fact, and also they're very aware of the situation they find themselves in. It's like we have no pistols, so we might as well stack up, have one pop flash. It's a $200 investment. It's nothing really in the grand scheme of things. So just chuck that over, see what we can find. Anything is a positive net gain really in that situation for them.
So with the conservative buy of Conquest, or lack of buy, pretty much a hard eco in the previous round, Daps will be afforded the money to buy full armor with the Galil that he's picked up, while the rest of his team will go for another hard eco, just buying a P250 here and there. So they will have the absolute full buy coming into the next round, it seems.
I think it would have been okay to just go with Light Kevlar as well. But I guess he wants to protect himself from those Mac 10s.
Indeed, and there are 3 of them heading in towards the bomb site. Daps, of course, is the first one to go down, being shot in the head by the AK. So very unlucky there, pulled the shortest straw perhaps. And the rest of his team will be wiped out, and Lucky's gone down, but that AK will see actually Shazam's managed to pick it up, and this might be a safe here. Rush is going to take one for the team, it appears, while Shazam scarpers. No one collecting Daps' Galil, interestingly enough, from the B bomb site, but I think they'll be content with the AKs in the following round.
Oh, nice kill there from Shazam. I'm quite excited to see what we will get out of Conquest. Now they've saved so much money. And Shazam, oh, there you go, he's going to go down. That's okay though, I mean he
Got 2 frags.
Yeah, exactly, got 2 kills out of nowhere. And look at the cash here on the Conquest, it is really good. And yeah,
it's a sight to behold.
I'm excited because it's very rare you see teams do this, and it's by no means bad. It's very.
Look at this. They've got Molotovs and smokes, and flashbangs and grenades and an AWP.
And look at Enemy. They've actually bought up. So this is a joyous occasion.
Yeah, it is.
Now the approach is going to be the thing to note, how Conquest decide to play on their setups, and they're going very bog standard. There's no smoke at the middle area of Banana though, so it looks like they're just going to hold from the bomb side.
Yeah, they had that iBuyPower style double flame carpets, which covers quite a lot of Banana to start with, but now Enemy will advance.
That's the thing, isn't it? Because it feels like that investment wasn't quite good because they didn't want to push with it. And so you don't keep the T's out for too long, because we just saw the T's reclaim Banana after maybe 10 seconds of those nades going down.
So Conquest playing passively to start with over towards top mid. Enemy taking control, but they will be aware that they do not have any picks. Enemy did, on some occasions, have 4 people over towards A in this situation. There'll only be 3 for Conquest. And now Kuster and co just looking to get an entry onto the sites. Bit of action being returned, bit of fire in their direction. So they're going to move away from top mid, not wanting to put any smokes down towards library or suggest anything, just going to move towards B.
And no more nades left for Conquest though.
Yep. Rush is on the A bomb site, he's going to go with nades, going to have to come down to the shots. Oh, Stanislaw getting a little bit fortunate there with the second kill, mainline walking straight into that one, and now Nap comes in. And that's going to be the end of Enemy GG's push. Rest in pieces.
Yeah, Stanislaw with that double kill. Just evaporating anything, any sort of push power that enemy had in that round. And that's
Boom.
really fortunate because they had no nades left.
Yeah, I mean, Enemy had good control of top mid.
Yeah.
But it seems that not having a pick made them favor funneling into the B bomb site. So you wonder what level their executes are onto the A bomb site in that situation. I mean, they could have potentially tried a wrap, for example.
Yeah, I was expecting to see B split actually for a long time there until I saw there was only a sole guy.
They had smokes to smoke off library, to smoke off arch itself. They could at least try and kill a rotation, but none of that happened. Two-man spray down for Nafly on this force buy of Enemy. Molotov's coming in as well. Naf will try to just stay alive here. Flash that Lucky runs straight through, being taken down by Naf as well. Finds himself with 3 kills so far. The bomb, however, has been planted with the loss of Stanislaw.
Yeah, Naf can even basically pretend that he's dead at this point because he's got 3 teammates to come in for the retake. He doesn't need to risk his life until the very last. So this could end up being really strong. And indeed, it's going to be very, very, very strong hold from Conquest. And the crazy thing is how Conquest won that first buy round with all the nades that they had. And it's quite awesome that Enemy played such a slow round to try to pressure all the nades away so they can have an even more of a successful push. So it was a well-played round from both teams. And it's resulted now in Conquest coming quite close back into this.
And Conquest definitely have the opportunity to bring this back to an even score rather quickly. And, well, no op on Kusta this time around. Still an op out on Shazam, and that's going to be a... Well, that should have been a nice nade, but then again, CSGO grenades.
2-round lead for Enemy at present, which looks to be thinned by the CT side in upcoming rounds unless they can make better use of their control. In fact, Conquest have changed their approach to A somewhat from the previous round where they pretty much gave top mid for free, and now they'll be holding the angles, so to speak. But we'll have to pay attention to what happens once they run out of smokes. And indeed, we can see Enemy now being invited to throw some smokes, which will push Shazam immediately back towards the library site position. Lucky finding the pick they couldn't find in the previous round. Will that mean that Enemy pushed the A site? The bomb is still all the way down T slope at the moment. But they've got 48 seconds to choose what to do. They've moved back from top mid. We see a bit of information seeking now from Conquest. Will that cause a rotation to B with the third man?
Nice timing actually on the grenades from the CTs there. That's really nice timing because it's kind of really rough for Enemy GG because they haven't quite pushed yet. And that delays them now to 25 seconds before they've actually made up their way onto the site to make the frags. This could end up going very poorly for Enemy GG despite having an advantage on the players. If Conquest can just stay alive but just barely long enough. Looks like that's not going to be the case. The bomb will be planted very safely in the corner of the bomb site, and it seems as if the 2 players that, for Conquest don't want anything to do with this. And about that nade, however, the CSGO grenades, you know, there's a life lesson to be had there.
Do tell.
Never have expectations. But it's a
Never
life
have
lesson.
Expectations. That way you'll never be disappointed.
Exactly. And that is what you should learn from
That's
CSGO
the life
grenades.
motto right there. That's something to live by, isn't it? Oh, well. Pretty good execution from Enemy, though. As you said, nice grenade timings from Conquest side. Unfortunately, not enough to really hold them back for those 3-4 more seconds that they would have needed to have the complete rotation in. The only thing I would have changed on Enemy side is just having the bomb go through quad side instead of having it going through arch. Because if they actually run into a crossfire in arch there, the bomb goes down, that's going to be almost impossible to actually retrieve and get the time to actually plant it. So that's some fine-tuning on Enemy's end, but the execution itself was really, really nice.
Well, it just came down to picks in the end for them, I think. Lucky getting the kill onto short, and Shazam getting taken down from long range on Arch, despite having the AWP, leaving 1 versus 5. So, Enemy looking to fight around this smoke on Banana. Got the 2 CTs playing close. Stanislaw's position is vulnerable to grenades being thrown off the back wall and bounced, especially with smoke in that position. So it's the Molotovs rather than the HEs. And you can see they did exactly that, or they tried to, but it was a bit too close to the smoke there, trying to force Stanislaw away from his position. Actually, Lucky does have a HE, so he could have lobbed that up there, and that could have been very painful indeed for Stanislaw.
Yeah. Bit of an issue for Conquest right now is the fact that they only have 1 smoke left. So luckily, that is towards the B bomb site, which is normally where you need it the most. But still, Enemy doing a good job of just baiting out as many nades as possible.
I can't imagine the plan was to throw that smoke off the wall inside the boiler like that. Very impressive though.
Yeah, and now it's going to be a problem for Enemy. They need to definitely make a move. They've wasted a lot of grenades, and they have shown this style of play in many rounds now. And it does end up being quite chaotic, and they're going for the B split again. We saw this on the pistol from Enemy, and it was actually kind of effective, even though they were a bit slow from the banana side of things. But this time there's 4 players on banana. They've left their lurker in Lucky, who is up towards the arch side, and here it goes. Oh, very timely peek there. And Stanislaw gets one as well, so things not looking too shabby at all here for Conquest. And Stanislaw is going to be able to spot the planter. Excellent damage done there, and now
That's the round.
it is indeed the round. That was the money peak there from Stanislaw. And then once again, Enemy GG. Again, as you mentioned, they're good at baiting out the nades, but still going too slow.
Yeah.
Maybe not committing enough.
I think they would have been fine actually running through the Molotov there at the end. I think you would have seen a team like Navi, who will always play down to the last couple of seconds on the clock on Inferno. They probably would have manned up and just ran through it, which probably could have thrown Conquest off as well. But in any case, it's going to be really hard when the only frag you can find is over on the opposite side of the map. Well, still quite a few nades on the side of Enemy. So they're in okay shape. Conquest down to 3 smoke grenades already. Now down to 2.
I'm curious as to whether the pace is going to change for Enemy. They've shown a very almost Navi-esque pace in the previous rounds, but now it looks like they are ready to commit a little bit faster to challenging some of the angles instead of just pressuring to get rid of those grenades. And Shazam is curious. His ears have been pricked up, and he's going to find himself that frag onto Relics. Now, Enemy are in a bit of a predicament. 3 players. How do they play this one?
Is Stanislaw just hiding on B? Okay, no, he's moving out in a better position right now. Because now I would have liked to see Stanislaw take a bit of a more aggressive positioning just to get some more information for his team.
Well, the remainder of Enemy look to push towards A. There's a bit of a problem for them in Arch, but Nafly's been taken down. The push will continue. Stam on the site now is going to get an easy frag from Mainline pushing on his own. So Enemy might be dropping 1 by 1 the way they're positioned at the moment. Seems they're going to gamble and go through Speedway towards B bomb site. Stanislaw still focused on Badana, so he's going to be out of position, but that smoke will tell a story.
It's actually really weird smoke.
And with 10 seconds left, they're going to push through the smoke that they put down themselves, and that's the bomb gun. And there's a massive question mark in front of me, and it's not XTSF.
Yeah.
I think all of us are sitting with those question marks. That was remarkably weird.
All right, guys, I'm going to smoke us off the site, and then I'm going to push through the smoke on mine with the bomb, guys. I got this.
Yeah, and
Believe in me.
You could actually see as well that Stanislaw could see the shadow just before he came through the smoke as well, so he even had a little bit of extra warning that was happening, on top of already anticipating it. So
Yeah, seeing the Molotov trajectory going through the smokes as well, like, gives you a pretty good pointer of what's about to happen.
Since Conquest have a Canadian flag, I think the question is, c'est quoi ça?
C'est quoi ça? Okay. Well, here we go. We got pretty fast aggression coming in from the Tech 9s. And it's looking very well handled here by Conquest so far. One might go down though. Oh, the pickup of the ball from Mainline is looking quite problematic. And with the bomb going down, you never know what can happen from this point.
2 Molotovs.
Mainline has an AWP. Lucky has a Tech 9. But being on the site, stuck in the corner, see if he can get Lucky. No, his luck is out. No Tombola, victory for him. The plant will be all that Enemy have for this round, and Conquest will even things up, surviving with 3 players. They can pick up the big green gun as well. Indeed, Stanislaw will do exactly that, so we'll see how further we can go. Rush got a nice frag through the smoke here. Boom. Onto Relics. Very nice indeed. So, Conquest now looking to take the lead. The money rougher than Elephant's Foot on the Enemy side. Lots of Molotovs, which will be very important going forward for the CT side as well, if they get the opportunity to use them without getting shot in the face by these 3 Tech 9s.
Yeah, I'm loving the consistency from Conquest so far and the efficiency from their setups, but once again another challenge is to arrive, and it could be a big old spray down. We've got 1, 2, 3, there's 2 more looking to push and get the trade, and Mainline will just barely burn Stanislaw alive, and Relics is just going to dart through to pick up an AK, but he's going to get flanked.
I feel a tiny bit sad for Stanislaw right there. He took all the attention from every Enemy player who came running through that smoke. Did a lot of damage, but didn't get a single kill. So you can see here, it's taking a lot of everybody's focusing on Stanislaw, and Naf even survives that round with 100 HP.
I like how he even had the presence of mind to look away while Stanislaw was alive, just in case of another pop flash coming through.
Yeah.
He could protect himself from that and hold down the site. Very nice play indeed. So we have a pause coming in.
Assuming tactical.
Yeah, I would assume it could be a tactical one. Enemy perhaps trying to figure out what they need to do to get back to winning ways after losing a number of rounds here. The C2 economy looks to be in a good place at the moment. They've got about 3.5 to 7,000 varying on most players, save for Stanislaw. So we're going to have, that means more grenades, not just buys. It means grenades, which is very important, as we have seen. And again, credit to Conquest for going for the proper eco on the second round to secure their economy sooner rather than later, rather than forcing it up and risking playing a buy round with not much grenades. And we saw how quickly their smokes have been disappearing as well.
Yeah, they've been using it really quickly, and that's obviously credit to Enemy for actually being able to be as aggressive to force out those nades. But you can only imagine what kind of a situation Conquest would find themselves in if they'd actually gone for that force buy in the second or third round. So it's really nice to see the structure coming in from Conquest. But on Enemy's case, I still think they have a lot of viable strategies they can go for. I feel like they don't necessarily need to put so much pressure on Banana early on. They could try to push up mid because StarSam has been giving that up for them quite often, and they've been finding openings in Arch.
But it does seem like they really want Banana.
Yeah.
So they're going to get it, goddammit. And that is what they will get. And they did send a lot of players up there to pressure it together and play for trades, which can work definitely if there is deep Banana play from the CTs and three-man setup there. But instead, Enemy now just fanning out, spreading out towards middle and taking that away. And there's 3 players from Conquest towards B, so this could be problematic.
They're not pushing for information either, so this is extremely problematic if you're Conquest. And this is where I would like to see. It seems like they kind of want to wrap around again, and I'm fine with them either doing a B split or just going for the normal wrap here.
Okay, so it seems this time they're going to get the smokes in and make use of their map control. And while it's to force Stanislaw from his position, the flash though is not going to work out. A 2-man for Stanislaw and some information for his team. Very valuable indeed. Nafla coming down to take down Relics in a trade. And we have a 4 versus 2. The bomb on short is going to be the last man standing. And Daps tries to finish off Uber, who has 10 HP. He'll get finished off as well. Conquest move 1 round closer to the first game.
Did the T smoke forward there on Arch? Was that their smoke?
That's their own smoke, and
that is really questionable.
I think it's supposed to be further down toward, like closer to library.
Or for Arch?
So,
well, the way they're throwing it is on Arch, bouncing it off the back wall.
Yeah.
So it's never going to have the best trajectory.
I think it's made to basically block off anyone on the corner of Arch so they can safely clear out the connector area. And then run through the smokes, potentially a pop flash.
Well, it's fast play here from Enemy. Never mind smokes. They've lost 1 player already, and it seems that there's some information for the CT side. Sam trying to play a passive angle, but he's going to get wrecked by the Tech-9. Rotation's coming in from Nafly, and he's going to go down to Kusta. Kusta's got the up. That means trouble for Conquest.
Absolutely, and there's a flank as well from Uber, who has found himself that AK-47. Now Conquest in quite some difficulty. We've got Enemy looking to take the A bomb side away, and Daps is actually leaving position. He's not even in the pit or the balcony spot, so it's going to be pretty difficult to retake this, I would say. Enemy have a lot of freedom to get themselves into some good positions now. And we've only got a single flash and a single HE on the CT side for utility, so they're going to have to do it with the shots. But Kusta is here to ruin people's days, and Daps might just be the first one. Kusta can't quite get a clean angle, but there it is. And it will be finished off by Enemy GG off of the back of a Tech-9 play.
Yeah, and again, they find their opening on just Sam and Arch. And that's kind of the big thing. The previous round they went Arch, it was Stanislaw to mow them down off of a kind of weird smoke. But they've been finding openings in Arch whenever Shazam has that op. Whether it is because he's playing too aggressively or he's not getting help early enough. That's debatable, but still.
Yeah, he's been getting picked to the various positions he's been holding, even basically on the corner of the site. Just an open pick. So Conquest do have the round lead for the moment, but their economy is going to be in trouble. You can see the nades already starting to lag. That's a great Molotov, which will ruin the timing of Enemy. They were clumped up near that car, so you can see they were full of intent. Another fast play, trying to overwhelm the Conquest side, not allowing them the time to think about how to react and take the decisions. And here come the nades from Energy. Will they commit, though?
Yeah, this could just be them trying to bait out some of the grenades from Conquest, but actually one player's gone straight for it. Uber has just gone right through there by himself, and that seemed a bit of a waste, but he's just going to find this angle. Yes, he will. Now we have a lot of issues here for Conquest. They need to get this retake happening. They have a base of attack set up. It is construction. But there's, again, no nades really for them to use, just a single flash. And everybody from Enemy GG here on the bomb site, ready to get into the action.
All in the dark air apart from one, but Lucky's got a smoke grenade, which he could use, but he's not really in the position to throw it down. And with an AWP on the Shazam, then it might be helpful. Kusta, though, will do enough to ward off the remainder of Conquest. That said, Shazam's actually stuck. So if Kusta holds the angle, then maybe he can take down Shazam. I think Shazam just wasn't able to escape there, and indeed he will go down, leaving Rush alone, wondering where the CT economy has gone.
Yeah, I think the second you lose that B-bomb side, you kind of just have to give it up, save the 3 weapons you have, and start over again at 14-14 with a okay-ish buy, because you would have had an opportunity potentially to actually drop a couple of Hamas's for the 2 remaining players. Enemy on their end, not a great execution by any means. They kind of get lucky after Uber just drives past all of his teammates and just dies for no reason. They're lucky to see mainline find 1 frag and Kusta picking up the 1 frag on coils through the smoke. If that doesn't happen, then they're probably just going to get bodied as they walk into the site.
Took 29 rounds for the first Uber pun to come in, even by accident. So I'm proud of us. I'm proud of all of us.
I've been avoiding them deliberately.
Well done, guys. As have I. But Mendes picked up the slack there.
Had to be done. Oh, that's a nade.
That isn't nade. That's a 90 damage nade. That's a money nade. Naf is... It could even get wallbanged potentially.
He definitely could.
Although unlikely.
This is very nice though. Enemy setting up for a full roast of the B-bomb site.
Naf has served himself up to the gods, and Rush has got a kill in trade. The nades are coming in, and Rush is looking for the spray down. He's got himself another frag. Can he get out there and reload? He's got 13 HP left. There is a player on the site, but he's going to retreat, so he's thrown the gun over to Shazam, but he's going to be facing, well, he's going to get Kusta down, but get instantly traded. Stanislav and AK will be falling at 2 versus 2 now. There are 25 seconds when this bomb gets planted. Then that might be the time for the CTs to strike, but that Molotov is going to do great work because Rush can't afford to go through it. Dab's got to kill onto Relics. He's holding an angle now, and Mainline is just waiting for Rush to come in, just peppering both sides. Will he be able to make a stake from these players? No, Rush with the frag. Conquest move to gain points.
I cannot believe how much damage Rush did there. Like the fact that he got the first kill as they push in, knowing that he had to take that risk, and then knowing that he had to keep taking risks by re-peeking it and then getting it, and all the fact that all the guns being dropped and Banana becoming such an issue because of the rotation, unbelievable.
No, absolutely crazy. You gotta have some pretty big balls right there if you're rushed to actually do the second repick. That's pretty crazy, and it works out beautifully for Conquest. Delays a lot of time, rotations come in, Rush even survives somehow, so...
Yoko thinks the balls are very big indeed. So we're going to have the AWP onto both sides, lots of nades for both teams, lots of Molotovs for the CT side. Stanislav taking his standard position close on the corner, which still hasn't been fully naded yet by the T side. There was a Molotov attempted in an earlier round, but it was diffused by a nearby smoke. Some counter flashes. Again, the CT's just trying to ruin any potential timing from the T's. And again, Conquest, with over a minute on the clock, have 1 smoke in the bag. But they have 5 Molotovs. The question is if they'll be able to use them effectively or not.
Yeah, and again, there's a potential gigantic opening for Enemy in Arch.
Here we go. It's just all going to come down to how this play works, because there's a lot of committed efforts here from Conquest into defending, and actually they're going to get the frags. So Rush with another 2, and that means Enemy GG are on the cusp of losing this first map. They are on the brink, on the precipice. They're about to fall off the cliff. Mainline and Uber are there to tether them, though, and keep them in this one, but it is looking rather grim. They are going to make their way around to Arch side, maybe thinking that there would only be 1 player there, but there are 2 players here to fight against, and here is the peak from Rush, doing yet more damage. Rush has been fantastic. 4 kills this round, 3 kills.